What if I told you anything you could ever want in life? Who you want to be, who you want to date, the kind of life you want to live, all of it was 100% possible so long as you follow 4 rules. I'll teach you what these rules are, why 99% of people don't follow them, what you can do to become part of the few who do. These rules aren't just theories. I've followed these rules for most of my life. It's how I've gotten to Harvard for undergrad, Yale for medical school, and Harvard again for residency. It's what I did to find the girl of my dreams, and it's what I've done to grow this channel to where it is today. But before these 4 rules make sense, you have to first understand what I call the 4 gatekeepers of life. The first gatekeeper is actually exactly that, your life. The other day, I asked my friend why she hasn't pursued her dream to be a chef. This is what she told me. My job isn't so bad, or I must leave at all costs, so it makes me lazier. Well, she's actually not lazy. No one's actually lazy. Laziness is just a label people give themselves because it stops the conversation and clears them of responsibility. What can I say? I'm just lazy. No, you're not. You're in a state of laziness because your current life is simply good enough. Changing it requires a short-term dip in quality that you just aren't willing to put up with. It's the same feeling when you're in the shower and you're done, but you don't want to step out because it's freezing. It's probably the most painful experience us wussy modern humans get to experience on a regular basis, along with stubbing our toes. Same with getting out of bed in the morning when the alarm is blaring. The bed suddenly feels extra comfy for some reason. It's bizarre. You're probably in the middle of some wet dream, but there it is again, the same principle. To get what you really want, you have to leave comfort behind and step through momentary hell. The same pattern is found in almost everything. It's just a fact of life. But that's why this is the first gatekeeper. To get anything worthwhile in life, you have to first face the dip. Most people don't dare, and that's why they continue on in their dead-end job. They continue on living that lie, having no purpose, no future, their entire lives already mapped out. The shower is now barely lukewarm, and yet they're still clinging onto it like it's the only thing they have left. Is that not depressing? That's why the first rule of life is this: good enough. Chase greatness. If your life is in this weird state of just good enough, do yourself a favor and turn off the shower. Give yourself no choice but to get out of there. Screw up your life if you have to. Hit rock bottom and find the fire to push beyond to that next level of existence. Because when your current life is hell on earth, you'll do anything to get out of there. No one is lazy when they find themselves stuck in a burning building. You don't need a productivity or motivational video to tell you to use the window to jump out. You just do it. It's the most primitive, most powerful human instinct we have. I call it primordial resilience. Corner someone with no way out, and you'll soon see what they're capable of. It's what allowed us to become the most dominant species on this entire planet. We can follow an antelope over the savannah until it literally collapses from exhaustion. Is that not insane? You don't realize it, but you have that ability too. You've just pushed it so far down and covered it with boxes of glazed donuts and doom scroll sessions. But if you do embrace the dip and move forward, you'll graduate to level 2 and meet the second gatekeeper to understand how to defeat the boss here on level 2. Imagine this: God comes up to you and invites you to the most insane shopping spree ever. Whatever you can fit in this cart in 10 minutes is yours. On these shelves are everything imaginable: stacks of cash, Oscar trophies, Grammy Awards, Mona Lisas, keys to entire cities, 6-pack abs. But there's a catch though. To do this, you have to first wake up at 5 a.m., run 3 miles, jump into a freezing shower, read an entire book, and high-five a hamster. Okay, weird. But of course you'd still do it, right? You'd be an idiot not to. Okay, what if I told you you have to stick to this regimen for 10 days in a row? Would you still do it? What about 100 days, 1,000 days? At what point are you going to say, okay, no more, I'm done, I don't care about the shopping spree anymore? Where do you think that line is for most people? 200 days? 500 days? 7 days. Less than 1 week. That's what the research shows. 25% of people will give up on their New Year's resolutions in less than 1 week, with almost half of them giving up by the end of the first month. To put into perspective how stupidly difficult it is to get past the second gatekeeper, let's imagine 1,000 people at the start line. To win this race, you just have to keep your New Year's resolution. It's simple, right? Not only do you get to choose your own goalpost, literally everyone can win. And yet, research shows out of 1,000 people, 700 people don't even show up. They're still stuck in the shower, too scared to even get past the first gatekeeper. And of the 300 who show up, 70 people quit the race by weekend, with 80 more quitting by the first month. By the end of the first year, how many people are left? Just 27 people. Stretch this to 2 years and who's left? Just one dude. Push a little bit longer and suddenly there's no one left at all. This is called the grind. That's what the second gatekeeper is. The grind kills basically everyone. No one can stomach the grind. And yet if you simply keep playing, even with zero strategy, you end up beating almost everyone. That's why the second rule of life is simple. Whatever you want, whatever goal you have, just hit it consistently for at least 1,000 days, and you'll hit a level only 0.1% of human beings achieve. That's what the research shows, and that's why I call this the 1,000 Club. I was complaining to my friend the other day about how I can't find quality people to hire for this channel. I knew he'd give good advice because he owns a multi-million-dollar franchise business. He asked me how many people I've tried out. I said maybe 8. You know what he said? How many times do you think I've done this? I have 250 employees, and that doesn't even count the number of people I've fired or I've quit. You don't even want to know the number of times I up to get here. That's when I realized this dude's operating on a completely different level. I've grinded through 8 people, while my friends grinded through over 1,000. We are several orders of magnitude apart. And yet there's me, complaining about the little turtle dude on stage 1 of World 1 of Super Mario Bros., while the other guy's on stage 10 of World 100 fighting an army of zombie Spartan soldiers. At that moment, I knew what I had to do. The second gatekeeper was staring at me straight in the face. I had barely begun. I don't know what engine powers this for you, it doesn't matter. It can be obsession, passion, purpose, insecurity, or even hatred because your ex dumped you to be with some dude named Bob. Whatever it is, find it and use it. Find the fuel to sustain your journey over 1,000 days. Get out a calendar and mark it out like a habit tracker. Each day that you grind is another day you check off. Each check mark represents another 100 people biting a dust, eating asphalt, falling behind. Why not put a never-ending line of people behind you? This is my 1,000-day challenge to you. I've made a Google Sheet that keeps track of this for you and tells you how many people are left in this race. I built it out assuming 100,000 people start at the same time as you and inputted formula so it calculates how many people are left the farther along you get. The first 25 people that get it with the link below will receive it as part of my heartfelt thanks to you being here. Or just become a Patreon member to get this and all other productivity tools I built. At this point, if you've been able to defeat the first and second gatekeeper, you've likely tasted a little bit of success, and suddenly you think you know everything. This is the downfall of many, and I call it the trap of hubris. The bigger you become and the more success you taste, the more you become trapped, rigid. You become set in your ways. Your ego dictates everything. I can't do that. I can't adapt now. I've done it this way for literally the past 1,000 days. Why should I listen to that guy? He hasn't put in the reps I have. That guy doesn't deserve it. He hasn't struggled like I have. And then when you don't make any further progress beyond this first taste, your ego destroys you further. You start to play the victim card. Why am I still not there? Don't I deserve it now? I've grinded, I put my time in. It must be because the game is rigged. It's all luck. And down the excuse rabbit hole you go. It must be because I don't have the money, the connections, or the resources that other people have. Well, maybe, but who cares? There's probably people worse off than you. They're missing their left testicle or their right arm, or maybe they're allergic to the sun. And yet, even they've still managed to make it happen. What's your excuse now? To defeat the fourth gatekeeper, you must follow the third rule of life. Kill your ego. The death of ego looks something like this. It's when you can honestly say that even after 1,000,000 reps, you still know nothing, that you're still hungrily searching for ways to be better, to work smarter. But when you need someone, you don't care that they're just the intern, or maybe the janitor. You can still learn something from them. Death of ego means you don't care if you look dumb. When you're okay with starting over and going back to the drawing board, that's when you know when you have no ego, you have nothing to prove, nothing to hold on to. Each day is just a new experiment to see what works. At this point, it's no longer about the grind. You know you can grind. You're way past the second gatekeeper. The people who don't make it past the third gatekeeper are wasting their energy protecting whatever identity, sense of self, or status quo that they've built. But not you. You have nothing to protect, and so with that free energy, you unlock a raw power that only the top 0.00001% of people get to use. In the right hands, that power becomes unstoppable. It's like you built a little sandcastle on the beach. It took you the entire day chipping away at it, but then you realize, uh-oh, the tide's coming in to wash it away. Instead of swallowing your pride and realizing you screwed up, you double down, and you devote all your energy to protecting it. Now you're building moats and all sorts of crazy defensive wall structures to keep the water out. Instead of working smarter, you keep on working harder. A voice yells out to you from above. You turn around and it's this 10-year-old kid building his sandcastle 50 feet above the seashore in a place the water will never touch. He laughs at you and says, "Mister, you're an idiot." Instead of puffing out your chest, what you should do is immediately abandon your castle, walk 50 feet up the beach, plop your fat ass next to his and say, "You're so right?" What happens after you destroy your ego? What else could you possibly do at this point? What other obstacle is left? The fourth gatekeeper, the final boss. To understand what this boss is, let me first ask you this.